So this is technically episode 1 of Red Marker Media's podcast, Red Marker Radio, but this time we actually are going to go on forward of what we said earlier in our last introduction episode, and that basically is saying where we're involving people in this. And today we have our guest Gavin Palmer, who was a senior and he graduated last year. Well, this last school year from Heritage, and we have him here before he leaves on his mission, and we're gonna just quickly get some schmooving, get some talking, just all the basics, not necessarily school related specific questions, but all of that kind of stuff, all down on this
exactly
podcast.
That. So
Indeed.
I mean, just kind of introducing who you are. I know that you're a performer. You were in a lot of different musicals. I think were you in all the musicals, or like in your high school career? Or
Yeah. So I started doing the musicals at Heritage in 7th grade. So that was when we first did it. We did Seussical, and then I did them all throughout high school except for there's the one in musical theater class, the Addams Family, that I missed out on. So technically I don't have the
full gauntlet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I did. Yeah.
You're close enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And so musicals, you were in dance for a little bit. You're in Gateway, I believe.
Yes.
That's
all
crazy.
That good
so
stuff.
What is that, 7 or 8 musicals?
Let's see.
Because if you count all the years, that's a lot of damage.
It really is.
That's a lot.
Seussical, Beauty and the Beast, Seven Brides, Sound of Music, Joseph, and then Little Mermaid, and
Bye Bye Birdie.
yeah, Bye Bye Birdie. Boom.
7. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Well, getting that out of the way, that's how people listening would know Gavin. You know him from the musicals, of course, and then being a senior, all of that. Everybody knows all the seniors. So, on the flip side, what makes you so special at Heritage? What in a way, what defines your personality? How do people know you? Yeah.
Definitely my hair. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's valid. That's true. I get that.
No, it's so funny because even I didn't even have curly hair until the start of freshman year, because my dad was always oh, keep it all short, military style haircuts, and then I grew it out for a musical, and then it suddenly started curling, and I was wow, this is cool. And that's just kind of grown to be my personal
flourish.
The
Your
personal
I Love
flourish.
Curls shirt, I remember that from Superman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had that as kind of a merch dig or something like that.
I didn't go to Superman. I really wish I did. I heard there was a lot of random awesome stuff in Superman. What did you do? What did you do at Superman?
I sang, what was it? Little Runaway by Benson Boone, and that was hype. But then I also did a Barbie thing
with Lyndon. Yeah.
Right, yeah, I heard about that. I heard that was
So
sick.
good.
That's super cool.
So, I mean, just kind of take us through your, rise to where you are now. Because, start of Heritage, or just start of, maybe your performing career, or whatever you want to start out with. And, I mean, it's just so interesting to see how you've kind of grown. And so just kind of take us through that.
Okay, yeah. So I feel the majority of how I started out as a fresh junior hire at Heritage was some random newbie that didn't know anyone. I kind of bounced around friend groups for a bit, and the musical helped me figure out the people that I wanted to hang out with, and stuff like that. But also I have my older brother and sister. They're twins, but they were what were they, sophomores when I was in 7th grade, so I had their friends and all that to help me kickstart my existence at the school. So so that's pretty cool. And then just gradually throughout high school, I just got friends that were into stuff that I was doing, ballroom, musical theater, choir, all that jazz. And and then just many years later.
Exactly.
Here you are.
He has
yeah.
evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it like? Because is there anybody beneath Preston? Not, I say beneath, but like, is there anybody younger than Preston? And also on the other subject, is there anybody beneath Preston?
Yeah. No, I get that because Preston is a little underwhelming sometimes. So he leaves you wanting more. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow.
He's a devious guy.
Yeah, I love Preston. But so I have a little sister. Her name's Hayden. So she's like more does like stuff that I do, like musical theater. She might do ballroom. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
That's cool.
yeah, in my opinion, she's cooler than Preston right now. So.
Oh shoot!
Wow.
So
Wow,
Preston's
that's
got some competition.
I was about to say that's quite the honor, but it's Preston. But we love Preston.
We might have
Preston
him later. I don't know.
Flaming
might-
Preston out here.
So I mean, your most, I guess, admirable thing, I think, is kind of like you get along with a lot of different people, and you just interact with everybody in the same way that you give everybody the same type of love, and I think it's very praiseworthy. I think that's a very good attribute. How do you do it? How do you kind of deal with people that you are not necessarily agreeing with?
Oh man, that's like so hard because when I was like a wee lad, right, my dad would always be like, you need to be friends with everyone because like if you have like beef with everyone, then that's like no fun because you can't hang out with anyone or you can't do anything fun. And so I was always like, like screw it, might as well be like nice to everyone and then see where it goes from there. And I mean, there's definitely a fair share of annoying people that I know that I could not get along with technically, but like
100%.
sometimes, it's like you just be kind, I guess, and then it all follows through. And even if you're not like besties with someone per se, you can at least show them like, like
your genuine respect. Like,
exactly, yeah.
like I care about your like personality, and I care not necessarily personality specifically, but like I care about like what you have to say.
Yeah.
But sure, we don't get along, but like I understand your thoughts in any situation.
Oh.
I 100% agree because I live by that philosophy.
For us, it's a podcast. For you, what is it for you? I mean, how do you get along with people?
Oh man, I really like. I feel like, I've got like my surface level friends, but like the real like meat and potatoes of my besties are always like the people that I'm like always spending time with, or I like do the crazy stuff with, like. So it's just like you gotta take it from like square one to like being a friend to something. Yeah, I don't know.
That makes so much sense actually. I never really thought about it like that, but that makes a lot of sense. And after I like understand, I'm in like the same boat that you're in kind of, except I didn't graduate. But like with like understanding people and like their perspectives and like just saying, oh, I'll be nice to everybody. That's great and all that. And like all the people that I do the craziest stuff with are the people that I spend the most time with. Exhibit A, doing a podcast with Brighton and doing a documentary with Brighton and doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, it was really like Little Mermaid brought me out. And I feel like that's also with you with musicals. It definitely put you in your place and you wanted to be there, Yeah, that's definitely the same way.
Speaking of that documentary, how's that going with
Oh, it's done.
It's done.
It's done.
It's been done for like a week or
If you come to the cast party, we'll show it to you.
yeah,
heck yeah.
that's in 6 days on June 11th.
In 6 days.
6 days, yeah, we're gonna premiere it. We've already we've technically premiered it to like my family and some of my sister's friends, but they weren't in the musical, so it didn't really matter. And my dad was like, oh, I want to edit this documentary. I want to see what's up with this whole thing. And I was like, okay, cool. But I wanted to like surprise him and like present the entire thing to him at one time and then have the small edits from a viewer's perspective, having multiple sets of eyes and all that. Yeah. And so then it really like filled my heart when he saw it and he was like, I honestly don't have that many like things that you should edit. Like it was like great as it was. I was like, what? I was like, dang. And it made me feel really good. and I feel very confident about it too for the cast party and all that stuff. It's gonna be so sick, and everybody has their own like parts. Like some of the parts are higher than others because of lead roles, and some people were better on camera than others. Mainly Jack, but it was Jack's almost every part of him on camera was just premium comedy. Like it was just he said something and it was normal and it was just his face. I was like, how does he do it, bro?
Jack's perfect. Dude.
Yeah, especially he doesn't know it. That's the best part. Anyway.
Yeah, well, by the way, Red Marker Radio viewers, that documentary will come out on June 11th. So stay tuned for that.
Exactly. The trailer is already out. If you want to see that now, you can. Also, there is a YouTube.
I watched it.
There's it is goated. It's going to be so sick. And also, there is a YouTube short of the Little Mermaid cast at Gamage walking the red carpet. That is also on YouTube. Gavin is in it for a second, and Brighton and I are in it, of course. And there's a lot of other guest appearances from other people in the cast and other people at Heritage that could be on this podcast soon. So you should go
Stay
see
tuned for that. And that's just a little teaser trailer of what we're going to be doing in the future. Speaking of Gamage, you didn't perform this last time, but before that for Joseph, you performed at Gamage. Yeah. What is that like? I mean, that's a huge deal.
Oh yeah, that was like the cool, like top 10 Gavin moments, right?
Oh, for real.
Like I don't know, that's like such a like a surreal experience, like being on the stage and like not just seeing like our little like Heritage theater. It's like a whole like got the the floor plus the balcony, and then the second balcony is like the craziest feeling ever. Like it's just like electric on stage, and then like hearing like the applause after you're done. Oh my gosh, like
it was so crazy.
Unforgettable.
Oh yeah.
So good.
That was one of my biggest regrets, was not being in Joseph, because
Joseph
looked so awesome.
Yeah. You guys would have cooked.
I know. I wish.
Joseph documentary would have been.
A Joseph documentary would have been so awesome.
Golden, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you performed on the Gamage stage. You performed. I didn't. I'm the only one here that didn't perform the Gamage stage. Maybe you'll see a Red Marker short on the full Gamage experience soon on that too.
That would be pretty sick.
That would be great. I mean, other than Gamage, even just performing at the Heritage Auditorium, being able to portray different roles. You were the Chef Louis. You were Conrad, Birdie.
That was fun.
I mean, being able to just portray different characters in front of various audiences and various groups of people. I personally don't know what that's like. I mean, I don't know how you view that, taking those roles.
Oh yeah. I mean, like it seems like I've had like a good like amount of I've had like Chef Louis or Conrad, Birdie, and but like for the majority of my musical theater like / acting career, I was in ensemble, and so I'd done like probably like 6 or 7 shows just in ensemble, which is like very good.
Oh, it's so fun.
Oh yeah, it's the
awesome.
best because you're playing 5 different characters. You're always on. You're doing everything. But that's like really where you learn how to act on like a spectrum versus like a certain character. I feel like
that's a good way of putting it, actually, because then you can actually have like a wide like bird's eye view of the entire show, and you're not limited.
Bird's eye view.
Bird's eye view. I didn't mean to do that, but I was a bird. That's why. If you didn't get that joke, I was a bird. That's cool. But like of what like the whole show is, as opposed to being like your character and you have a personality and you have to portray that personality 100% of the time. And that was what was awesome about you being Chef Louis and being ensemble, is you could do both. And like I personally think that's a lot to balance. I think that's pretty cool that you could do that. But yeah, that was all the acting stuff is really awesome. It's so fun and so entertaining for everybody.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and
are you guys planning on doing Tuck Everlasting next year?
I want to, and I know Miss Peoples wants me to,
Yeah.
and she wants me to be a main guy role because there are like 7 main guy roles or something like that, and yeah, so she's like, I need you to be one of them. And the only thing is that I would be totally okay with like any of them, except Miles says a bad word. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like if I had to, And if my parents were fine with it, then I would do it. But
that's right.
but like, then we got like Jacob Vela coming in next year too, like in high school, so he could take up an insanely great role. And then there's me, there's Austin. I think Jaron could take a good role. Who knows? Paxton has a shot too. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity in this next musical, and then that's just the guys. There's a lot of other girl roles too, and just ensemble. I heard that this show was a lot of heavy dancing, but at Heritage it will be. But it's gonna be great. But taking it from like a side note, from a different perspective. So like, who I know you're friends with, like, we all know you're friends with like everybody at Heritage, or were friends with everybody. Yeah. But who were like your best friends? Like, who did you like lean on for like everything you did? Who did you do the crazy stuff with?
Okay, so mostly like throughout like high school, I have like a good set of like the boys, you know.
The boys, yeah,
like,
for real.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, like most of them graduated not last year. I mean, like my year, but the year before me. So that was like David
Parker
and like Parker Larson.
Yeah, I love Parker.
Like Birdie, all those guys. And like it, you know, it's great to see them doing stuff, but I totally miss them.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely like this year, I've been hanging out with more like Lyndon and Jace and, you know, like Joey. Those are like my core boys this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like those are the guys like I do stupid stuff with, you know. We went to what was it, Bahama Bucks, and we bought snowballs for $30, which is like way overpriced, but they were so good.
Yeah.
So funny.
In Arizona.
Yeah, and we just pelted each other. We did like a spin the bottle type deal.
Oh boy.
That's awesome. That sounds so
You
fun.
pelted each other. You didn't eat them.
No.
Okay, so I'm getting that fact right.
I would have pelted somebody if I had a snowball. Like, what? You gonna eat it? You gonna sit there and eat a snowball? Like, that's so underwhelming.
Yeah, bro.
Eat a snowball for $30. I don't know. We'll have to try.
Was
that.
it like
Red
a group
Marker
of snowballs?
It was like a big like bucket, like 60 something snowballs. So.
That's a lot of damage.
Really
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, so besides the musicals, you were also in ballroom. You were in ballroom company this last year, and you know, I've obviously worked with a lot of ballroom dancers and just the dance department in general. What's ballroom company like?
Oh, ballroom has been a roller coaster because, like, you know, starting out in freshman year where we were just coming out of like, actually we were still in like COVID and stuff, so we were like wearing masks and like couldn't touch our partners at all or whatever.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. So like I'd be like dancing like this, like with my partner or whatever, or 3 partners. We had a dance where I had 3 partners, which is crazy. I don't know, it was weird.
Game is game.
Like one leader and
game.
3 followers.
Yeah, I was just like standing there. It's like 1, 2, 3, and boom.
Wow,
that's wild.
Yeah, and it, you know, ballroom has been like so awesome. It's gone from like, you know, doing like that, like where I'm like not even like dancing with my partner to, you know, I've been on ballroom company for 2 years, and you know, it's been different experiences, but it's like so cool where I'm like doing competitions and stuff, and it's just like ballroom as like as a part of my life has been a very like up and down because, you know, the COVID.
Yeah. What's the competitions like?
Oh, dude, they're like the coolest thing ever because it's not just like Heritage or like other schools. We're actually like one of the only schools that goes to like Rio competitions, but you get to see professionals like do their dances, and like in the grand scheme of like ballroom, Heritage is beginner.
Yeah.
Like really, really beginner. Like you go to these competitions, it looks like these people are floating on ice. Like I don't know, they do all these crazy things. I mean, I've never stayed all the way for like a whole, like the entire competition because they're like the whole day and a half or whatever.
That's insane.
But it's so cool, and it's like a different feeling from where you're like, you know, choreographed or like you're doing a choreographed routine to where you're dancing with your partner and there's, you know, the floor and you've got all these people around you, there's judges, and you're like, it's just cool because you're making it up all on the spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love doing that. It's well, not ballroom. I don't dance. Sorry, I just made myself look like I was a crazy.
You do ballroom.
Do I cook? No, I don't cook like that. But that was needed context. I mean, like for piano and stuff, because
Oh, yeah.
I'll like a couple times at FSY, I would like do the talent show, and I would just walk up and go to the mic and say, "There's like a piano," and I'd just be like, "I have nothing planned. I'm gonna see what happens," and then I walk out with like some like 5-minute just like medley of all this random crap that I put together on the spot. So like when you say like the just making it up on the spot in front of judges and you're being judged with another person, I'm like, that sounds so cool. Like I'm not a ballroom guy personally. I mean, if I were to get into it, like I would. I just don't have time. Same thing with dance.
Yeah.
Except we are in dance company, but that's a different.
We
that's
are
a
in
different
dance company,
scenario.
yeah.
Dude, that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, no, that's real. What do you?
That's real, yeah, of
That is
course.
a real situation. Anyway, the like it's just so cool. Like I can relate to so many of the things we're talking about, and I feel like that's such a vibe like point. You know, just like that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, that's so cool. You know? Yeah, that's sick.
So actually, I was thinking about this. Every single time you come on stage, whether it was Superman or especially Little Mermaid, you would get the most cheers out of anyone. Like
Yeah.
you would, seriously, people cheer for whoever they want to cheer for, but everyone cheered for you every single time. Every single time you rolled that card out on stage and
When you
in
went,
that
yeah,
with
exactly.
mustache
in,
and
in the golden pants, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Golden pants.
Yeah, and it was like people remember you all the everything. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? But I won't even start. We've already talked about a lot of it anyway. Why would I repeat it? But yeah, like and it leaves prints on like teachers too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when we were interviewing Miss Peoples for the Little Mermaid documentary, like she does this senior spotlight kind of thing at like the end. Yeah, it's at like the very end, and she's like, oh, seniors, and it took her like a second, and she was like, the first person that came to my mind was Gavin Palmer, and I was like, that's yeah. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then like after that, she was like, who else was in the show? I don't know. It was like, it was Gavin and Jace, and I mean Blake was there, but and
We had
like
to-
a lot of random people.
and
that
we
was
had to
awesome.
cut a lot of her interview part out.
Oh, her interview,
because
it
she
was
just
filled
kept
with-
going on about you.
It was-
That's so Miss Peoples, dude.
It was 20 minutes long, and we chopped it to 4. She had so many great things to say, but we're like, dang, it's impossible to have all of it in there without like, you know, what's it? Just like fresh content, I guess. You know,
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll show it to you when we get the chance. but
when
I
we
mean,
get the chance at
it's
the cast
great. I
party.
mean,
Are you gonna go to the cast party?
Yeah. Actually, hold. I don't know if my schedule's clear, but
If not, it'll be on YouTube.
okay.
So
When is the cast party?
it's on the 11th.
Yeah, but like what? Do you know times?
I don't off the top of my head. I think
Yeah.
Brighton's looking it up right now on his goofy off computer.
Because I've got work.
It's
until, like,
it's later in the day,
Yeah.
so if that
not like being
isn't it
there.
at like 7 or something? I don't remember. But
the times are very approximate.
Okay.
okay.
Because I'll definitely like show up. I probably won't be there the whole time.
Yeah, we should.
But-
We'll probably end up actually presenting it at the end of the party anyway.
6 to 10
Okay.
or
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah. I'll
Yeah.
totally be there. Okay.
Sick.
Sweet,
Also,
that's gonna be
by
awesome.
the way, what is on your socks? Because
Oh, we got a little
I actually don't know what that is.
little umbrellas. Sorry,
That's
this is.
what's
I probably shouldn't be like raising my leg in front of the camera.
you have like.
Little beach chairs with little umbrellas.
Oh, that's cool. I wore actual shoes because I thought my feet were gonna be in the shot, but they're not. I just wore white shoes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's random.
I was trying to figure that out for like the past like 2 minutes.
I know.
was like,
Actually,
what?
I just figured I wouldn't ask about it because he's had some pretty goofy socks that I just.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Austin Layton, another person that
Yeah.
we might interview in this podcast.
should.
He's gonna come up with something.
He'll walk
crazy.
on like from that scene like from Liv and Maddie where they're like it's like Josh and Liv and they're like on a call with like some of their fans or something like that and they're like, what shoes are you wearing right now? And she's like, oh, nothing much, just my fuzzies. And she pulls up these like crazy massive shoes and it looks like they're professional on like a
yeah.
camera and then they pull up their shoes and it's like, oh, hype. Sorry, that just went through my mind.
No,
if
that's totally
any of you listeners got that if you got that like reference, then like and subscribe right now because that's
That's right.
follow this podcast.
What kind of going off a little bit, you know, you perform, but I know you're also very involved in kind of just like music in general, like music and just take us through kind of like your music, the music side of you? Because obviously you have choir, but I mean, what else?
So when I was little, like 6-ish maybe, my mom signed me up for piano, which is like the base of my like musical everything. And I'm very glad I did piano. I'm actually really sad that I stopped, and I think like the way you play piano.
Yeah, I still take lessons.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, but so basically I took piano for like 5 years or something, and then I got tired of it because I was like I was growing up, and I was like, piano's lame, whatever. And I started doing choir and stuff, and that really like expanded like more of my personal musical talent, because I mean I knew like theory and stuff from piano, like I knew the notes and like where they were on the piano, but like as like bodily music, that was pretty cool to learn like how to sing notes and like stuff like that, and sight reading more off of like choir, because I got
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what you're saying. I like understand the basis of sight reading, but I still can't do it after all this time. I can't sight read. So.
Yeah, but you can play by ear, crazy.
Well, yeah, that's like what I figured. I can't sight read, so I'll just like develop other skill. So like, yeah, it's cool. But I used to be in choir too.
If you guys don't know, Bronson is an A tier, actually S tier piano player. He's literally that guy.
Oh yeah, I just spend a lot of time on it. Not like Braden Wagner. He's a completely different story. He's goated with the sauce.
He really is.
He gets lost in the sauce every time he touches a piano, and it's insane. I would love to be on his perspective and just like what is his mind thinking,
Yeah.
Like anybody with that kind of a talent, or any talent specifically, is just like when you're doing back to like ballroom. I won't really go back into ballroom, but I'm just like you're just doing things on the spot, just like your mind is moving 1,000 frames per second all the time, 100%. It's so crazy, like those talents are cool.
Just sound in general, I think, is a very very hard skill to master.
Sound.
Because I mean, we're doing a podcast right now, so obviously sound is a big thing for us, but like even playing an instrument, doing sound for tech crew, I mean, it's just crazy how somebody can master that. And so someone like you can really, you can pick that stuff up very, very quickly. And that's where the whole gateway singers thing, I think, comes in. And for that, I believe you performed at like a United Nations thing for that.
Oh, that is also top 10 Gavin moment.
Really? That's hype.
It's the coolest thing ever. Like Miss Albertson's like talking us through this. She's like, okay guys, we're gonna sing this song. And it's like the most one of my most favorite songs that we've ever sang for a choir. It's called Prayer of the Children. Perfect. Like it's soft and perfect, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, we're singing this song for the United Nations, or a delegation, which is like the coolest thing ever, because this is like people from countries all around the world. Like, we've got like, Russia, there's, actually, I don't think there's someone from Russia, but there's like a lot of people from like Africa, Europe, there's, all of these like people that like, from all over, and we're singing this song, Prayer of the Children, which is like the most, my favorite song that we ever sang.
Yeah.
But, like we're singing this song for them, and Miss Albertson's like, okay guys, so we're gonna go sing this song for these people, and I don't know if we were like their entertainment or like as like a push for something. I don't know, because I don't know what their delegation was about.
Yeah.
But based off of the song, I think it was about like children and like helping make sure they're safe and cared for, which is so cool. But
yeah.
Basically, when we got there, it was at a hotel, and they brought us into the room, and they're like, hey, you guys are going to be singing for these people. I want you to have fun. Just make sure that you connect with the people. And so we go up on stage, and we sing this, we sing Prayer of the Children, and it's the coolest thing ever. And, like, we're singing, and, we're connecting with the audience, and there's, like, these people just sobbing in the room, like grown men, like these big old guys that are sitting in the front row. You just see tears streaming down their face, and that was like one of the coolest things I've ever done.
That is so sick. Yeah. That's so sick. That's what I want to do with the documentary. But That's a whole other step. I don't think that'll happen. But hey,
Show the documentary to some world leaders. You know, they might enjoy that.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool though. I've been dreaming of situations like that where like, you know, like, well, I'm whack. I don't listen to normal music. I listen to like soundtracks and like scores and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So like, you know, I always have like whatever mood I'm in, I know exactly what song to play to fill my mood. And so sometimes it just like hits the perfect spot and I'm like, I want other people to feel that. You know what I mean? And so when you just said that, I'm like, that's exactly like, you know, that is exactly what I like picture. I like vision and imagine, you know, like revelations all in my mind. It's crazy, you know? Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, running it back from like, cause that was all in high school, right?
Yeah.
High school, it's a thing of the past as of right now.
Yes.
And so you got your mission call, right? So where are you going on your mission?
So I'm going to the Johannesburg, South Africa mission.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy,
Yeah.
because that's, you know, a different continent, and it's also what's it, a 23-hour flight, I think, from Phoenix to Johannesburg.
Is it one flight? Like there's no like drop offs or
There
anything?
might be like connecting flights, but I just know it's super, super long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's English speaking, and I'm leaving in like 2.5 months. August 23rd is like my date. So
Yeah. That's crazy.
And is it English or is it any other language?
yeah, so it said English on my call, but I've heard from like a bunch of different people, like Brother Wilkins. He was like, yeah, my brother went to Africa, and it said English on this call, but he ended up learning like different, you know, bits and pieces of like local languages. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
That's really cool.
You should come back with the South African accent, just like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's from South Africa, so you're gonna come back and you're gonna be Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's so crazy how many like famous people are from like South Africa. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that, and they're just, you know, I don't know. I just didn't expect that, but it's so cool.
It's a piece of the future. You're gonna be a famous person.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I hope.
I guess that's just
come
the
back
way
onto the
it's
podcast
turned
when
out to
you're
be.
when you're at that point.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
That would actually be so much fun.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, beyond that, how what are your plans for the future? At least for now, how do you view the future?
Oh man, I'm so excited. Like, I feel like, I mean, in between now and my mission is like, it's like a stagnant pool ish.
Yeah, like you
mean,
can't really do anything.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like stuck for now, which
Mhm.
is like fine because, you know, boredom fosters creativity. But
I guess, yeah.
but I don't know. I'm just excited to, you know, go on my mission and then come back, and I got accepted to BYU Provo. So
Oh
that's cool.
yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, where are you going to college? I forgot, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
'Cause that's hard.
Hey, I was so excited. Like I got the email and I was like, oh man, I really hope I get accepted. And I opened it up with all the boys, and we all got accepted. So we might be rooming together in college.
Oh
too.
my gosh, that's
awesome.
such a dream,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know who I would room with or anything like that. Like, well, probably you, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. Dude.
Do you know
That's
what
so
you're
cool.
studying?
No.
Like as of right now, I really want to be some type of doctor. I'm not sure what right now.
Great.
But maybe optometry. Maybe I've thought about being like a general surgeon.
That's a
So
bang for the buck, bro.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, I don't know. My dad's an optometrist, which is like, you know, part of the reason why I was like, oh, optometrist is cool.
Yeah.
But and like he was always like, yeah, the medical field is so secure because, you know, people always need help. So like that's just like a big thing to me is like job security, because I don't want to be, you know, not having a job, you know. So.
Especially in these days with like AI. AI is taking up a lot of people's jobs. You know, like of course it is a whole new era. All that stuff, and it's like the medical field is such a like what you said, it's so like steady, it's so secure.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a good idea. Like, I personally, like that's probably one of the best routes you can go. Like,
It's a great trade.
Yeah,
It's
for
a
real.
great trade.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of, you know, just finishing off with just kind of this memorable comment. We've seen you grow up. We've seen you come onto this podcast, and you've been talking about the stories that really, I think, are fascinating. And having you as the first guest in this podcast was probably the right decision.
Quite the banger. Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you hope to convey to the viewers? Like, just any word of inspiration or anything that you want to convey to, because you're a graduated senior. You're gonna go to South Africa, and then you're gonna go to BYU. I mean, what do you hope to kind of if you want to leave your mark? What kind of mark do you want to leave?
Honestly, something that I've learned throughout, like, high school and, it just my experience through life is to do things, even if you don't really want to, like go hang out with your friends, even if you might be a little like not feeling it that day, because you might make a memory that you'll never forget. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's so real. That's so real. Like some of the times I've been here at this place, Brighton's house, is like I'm just like I either don't feel good, or like I already got a lot done that day and I'm really tired or something. I'm like, I'm going anyway. We have things to do, and then we get a lot done. I remember that. That's all. Yeah. Oh, I can so relate to everything that you just said.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in, like, your friends will help, push you and pull you up instead of, shoving you down. So if you're ever like, just sucking in life,
oh yes,
friends are the best. So that's
amen, bro.
Gavin, word of advice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our very first episode of Red Marker Radio featuring Gavin Palmer. Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in. We have one more thing for you to do. You got to leave your first signature onto the Red Marker logo right here.
Coolest logo ever, actually.
And so you're the first one. We don't know how we're going to sign this, if you're going to climb over the couch or not, but...
Yeah, what are we going to do? Like, this is on camera? Are we going to,
This is very first thing. So let's do that.
Okay, cool.
And I'll pause the recording here. So that's the audio part's done. Something like that.
Should I like sign it or just write my name?
Whatever you want.
Whatever
like,
you
I don't
want
have a
to do.
signature, but Brighton does. So if you want to like what you want people to see.
Yeah.
Okay, think about just
It's gonna be in the background of every podcast. So.
Exactly. Nice. It's like a piece of history right here.
Exactly.
Boom. Gavin Palmer, love you.
Yeah. Woohoo. Okay.
That's so awesome.